Christie Aphrodite of Soul Journeys Radio, and I just wanted to talk about a few things regarding success and being poor and some of the losses and such that we are to experience, or I'm not saying that everybody has to, but some of us, especially with these hard heads, might have to go through. And I've seen a lot of, the whole, oh, the economy sucks, and, I can't get a job anymore, or, oh, I lost my high-paying job, and now I'm forced to, give up my house on the hill, and I can't afford to eat steak every night, and, all of these things we do. And I think that, we should really, first of all, reconsider what success is. And, as long as we continue to define it based on how much money we make, or if we're able to keep up with the Joneses, we've been stuck in this mentality, in this materialistic plane, where we feel that we have to have a bigger house, or we have to have a faster, shinier car, or we have to have more toys, and to prove our success and worthiness in the world. And what I would like to share with you are the blessings of being poor. And when I say poor, I'm speaking strictly financially, because in my experience, it was certainly one of the greatest blessings ever. It forced me to discover my inner power and discover things I didn't even know about myself, not to mention ingenuity, resourcefulness, discovering new talents, and most importantly, discover the key to happiness in life. For instance, I'll share a little bit of my story. I've definitely been on both sides of the issue, the house on the hill, plenty of money coming through, all the toys, the red carpet treatment, and I have also experienced the how am I going to eat tomorrow? How am I going to feed my children? How, the fear and the loss of not being able to take care of our needs tomorrow, pay the dumb power bill, or put gas in the car, or afford enough food and such. And it was actually, it's been one of the greatest experiences ever for me, because, look, when we focus on what we're losing or what we don't have, we kind of become paralyzed in this, oh, poor me, I can't do anything, and I'm not good enough because, I don't have as much money as them, and, all of these things. We tend to think that we're less than. And, let's not forget, the people with the least money, or, whether the blue-collar workers, or even homeless people, or people struggling, let me tell you something. They have a ton more heart and soul, in my experience, than the ones who don't. And that's not to say there's people that have all the things that are absolutely beautiful, wonderful people. There are. And I'm super, super blessed to know them. But for me, I had to go through what I went through financially, and still, by the way. I don't have a job. I'm a full-time volunteer, pretty much. I do sell a few healing oils here and there, which, is absolutely wonderful. But if it wasn't for my experience, losing everything, materially, I'm speaking, I never would have discovered that gift that I have. So, not being able to afford food is a good thing. Number one, it's, anything you can buy in the store, most of it is GMO and processed with chemicals and antibiotics and, hormones and all this garbage. We shouldn't be eating this anyways. So, it forced me to be a little bit more creative. So, instead of talking about growing a garden and growing my own food like a lot of people like to do online, I actually got to put my money, or lack thereof, where my mouth is. So what did that turn into? Let's see, growing a beautiful large garden that just got bigger and bigger every year. Through that, I learned to heal myself physically, emotionally, and spiritually. I mean, besides just the act of taking part in creation and putting your hands in the dirt has already been proven scientifically, even on mainstream, that it is good for you. In fact, people cure themselves from cancer just by getting outside and taking their shoes off and, you know, laughing and playing. And, you know, these things are so essential in life that we forget about when we're in the, you know, the wheel in the rat cage, spinning around and around and going to this job and getting all this money and paying other people to do things for us. You know, another thing it forced me to do, okay, so growing food, growing medicine, learning to utilize the medicine and food that's growing all around us that we call weeds, that Monsanto or even our parents told us were poisonous and don't touch that, and you know, come to find out they're the most nutritious and medicinal things anywhere. Hello, seaweed, dandelions, plantains, red clover, mullein, mugwort, chickweed, cleavers, oat straw. I mean, they're all around us. You know, as Linda Runyon says, there's no world hunger. We are walking on our food. And I'm kind of paraphrasing, but it was definitely the walking on our food thing. So really, you know, there's definitely no food shortage going on anywhere. That's obviously a myth. You know, the scarcity, the trying to keep you in the fear-based mentality, but, you know, learning to eat weeds and utilize what's already growing here, and, you know, just reconnecting with what we had forgotten about, you know, what our ancestors did. I mean, my goodness, talk about poor. They didn't have refrigerators. They didn't have microwaves. They didn't really have stores to go to. They, you know, they did it themselves. They fed themselves. And what a beautiful blessing it is to be, you know, to be able to take part in nature and be so close. And anyway, so that's one of the reasons that being poor was one of the best things that have happened to me. It forced me pretty well if I wanted to eat, or, you know, I mean, I could have done it myself, or I could have sat around and begged and, you know, went in some line to go get food stamps or something, which is not for me. I happen to, well, yeah, I'll get into that in another video. But, you know, self-sufficiency is the key here. Our ancestors did it. They've been doing it since the beginning of time. It's only recently that we've become dependent on everybody else to feed us, to take care of us, as far as going to doctors and getting pills. And, you know, that's another one I hear about. Oh, I can't afford my medication. Good! Good! Guess what? All you need is already growing in your front yard. And, you know, oh, well, I don't have a yard. I'm too poor. I just have an apartment. Have you thought about walking a block or two? I guarantee there is food growing, or medicine, however you choose to use it, growing everywhere. So being poor actually taught me new ways to heal myself. Because when this happened, you know, I was in a wheelchair, my children feeding and clothing me, and, you know, it was devastating. You know, I was scared. I'm not saying, oh, it's so easy and everything. It's not. But, you know, as we quit resisting and start looking at the beauty and the blessings, such as, I mean, another great thing it did for me was show me who my friends are and aren't. Because the ones that were using me for things that I could give them, not my smile, not my heart, not my talents, not my company, you know, it quickly, you know, separated the wheat from the chaff. So those people that just always wanted something from me disappeared. Yeah. And the real people were there. They were there to share laughter. They were there to show smiles. They were there to show shoulders and hugs and all of these things that we forget about. These simple things are like the best things, that we need as humanity, we need as a whole. We need that connection, and we need that connection with Mother Nature. So being poor can be a blessing in many ways, such as forcing you to find what you love to do, forcing you to find things that, ways to feed yourself and such, which are so much better for you. I mean, I'm telling you, there is no way you can compare stuff that you buy in a store to what you walk outside your door and pick for yourself. And if you're saying, oh, well, I'm in an apartment, I can't grow my own food, let me ask you this. Do you have a balcony? Do you have a window? Do you have a porch? Do you have, any shoe boxes? Do you have a ceiling? You can hang plants. You could put them in shoe boxes with tin foil. Everybody has an old shoe box sitting around. Or, anyone can go and pick up some old buckets and drill a hole in them. So there's always something we can do. The key is to not be paralyzed by the fear or in that mentality that, oh, I have to have money to pay someone else to do it for me. Think about it. Isn't that what got us into this extremely ultra-dependent situation where we've become pretty much hopeless and irresponsible? Let's admit it. People back in the day knew how to feed themselves. They knew how to take care of themselves. They knew how to build things. They knew how to fix things. They knew how to create things. They got centered in their peace, in their family, in their art, whatever it was that made them happy. And so another thing it did for me specifically was, I started creating oils and making teas and making tinctures and things that not only helped me, but helped other people. How cool is that? I don't know. To me, it's like the greatest thing in the whole world. And it would not have happened, I don't think, had I been, stuck in that red carpet treatment, living on the hill and that high horse and paying everyone else to do things for me, like, nannies to babysit my children or babysitters so that I could go to work. Well, check it out, especially with jobs available now. Add up how much you would make in minimum wage and then add up how much you're spending in daycare. Oh, wait, I have an idea. Take care of your own children. Homeschool. Do something you love. What kind of art do you like to do? Oh, you can't afford clothes? Get a sewing machine from a garage sale and make your own. Or learn to barter. What are those gifts that you have that you've suppressed so that you can sit in a traffic jam to and from your job to what? Make rich some corporation that really, doesn't care about you at all. And I know it's devastating to go through this ultimate change, riches to rags overnight, but if you consider all of the blessings and what the universe is showing you, there might be a reason for it. And for me, I'm super, super thankful. Seriously, like one of the best things ever. Bartering. Everybody talks about it, but do they really do it? Are they out helping people and, sharing smiles and sharing hugs or sharing their creations? I guarantee everything you give, you put out there, it might not be the same person you gave it to, but it's going to come back to you from somewhere else. And that's another blessing, is learning to go with the flow and accept that divine flow. Sometimes you need a helping hand. Sometimes you are the helping hand. That's where you see the true blessings and true gifts in life. Let's see. I know there was a few other things I wanted to share about the blessings of being poor, but people losing their jobs. Look at this. everyone I know that has lost their job allegedly unexpectedly, the truth is they didn't like that job anyways. It was eating at their soul. They hated their boss. They hated, everything, the time it took away from their children, families, loved ones, extracurricular activities. They didn't like it. So you know what? If you get fired or laid off or something like that, just say, thank you, God. Because you might not see it's a blessing, in the sting of the first couple days, but I guarantee you take that time to rest and nurture yourself and, maybe even ask God, Goddess, Great Spirit, whoever, whatever you believe in, your higher self, ask, what is this lesson? What am I supposed to learn from this? And let it go. People are much happier off, and I happen to know from experience in times that I have, kind of given away pieces of my soul in the, in the method of keeping jobs that were not good for me for whatever reason, maybe a psychopathic, vampiric boss, or, maybe just totally being underappreciated, whatever it is, it feels like a relief. And, most people that lost their jobs, whatever it is, it's a relief for them too after, the sting wears off and they get to feel it out and see that, oh, wow, now I have time to paint more. Or now I have time to follow my heart and play my music more. Or now I have, I get to explore my creativity cooking. I get to do more for myself or whatever it is. So count your blessings, not your losses. The things that we lose are actually good for us. Shedding those things away that really, they might be serving your pocketbook, your bank account, or, that big house. But I'll tell you what, the more money you have, the more you spend. So it doesn't matter if you make $400 a month or $400,000 a month. The percentage of your bills and what, you make more money, you spend more money. I mean, people that make $200,000 a year are still in debt and not living even close to as rich as I am. I mean, I value what I have. I honor what I have as sacred, the people around me, and I'm really, really thankful for learning all the things that I have done and have been able to share with other people. So check this out. I was going to do a video about it, and I actually bought a website. I'll just give you a sneak preview. Of course, I haven't done anything to the website because I don't know how. So speaking of bartering and, kind of sharing the love, if there's anyone that does know how to do websites, just a simple WordPress, pretty please let me know, because it's something that will help not only you, it has the opportunity or the possibility of helping everyone by a new way of thinking. And I called it Project Love Your Neighbor. And I'll just give you a brief synopsis, but what that is, or what I intend with it, is, pretty much bartering, or if you want to stay in the money thing and keep your job and everything, great, perfect. Just do what you can do, but when you make that shopping list of things that you need, or have your little errands, fix the car, paint the house, buy muffins for the office meeting, go to your neighbor first. I guarantee you have a neighbor that bakes beautiful, delicious muffins, or whatever you need for your little office meeting in the morning. I guarantee there's a neighbor that would be happy to make that extra few dollars to babysit your children, rather than putting them state-run daycare. Let's see, if you need to paint your house, I guarantee there's somebody in your neighborhood that would love a few extra dollars to go help you, or perhaps will do it for trade because maybe you're a mechanic and they might need something fixed on their car, or, something built, or, so there's something that we all can do, and it's something we're already doing now. And the key is to do more of what you love. Focus on what you love, what you have, and give gratitude. Give thanks in all things. I know, I think it's a Bible verse like Philippians 4:4 or something. Give thanks in all things. But you know what? There's a lot of truth to that. The more gratitude you have, the more you are able to get. So stop comparing yourself to the Joneses. Stop, the whole envy of, oh, I need to have that house and I need to have that car. And let me ask you, how's that serving you? Wanting things are going to keep you in wanting. The key is doing, and doing from the heart what you love. And share that love, share your gifts with others. I guarantee it will turn your life around and, woohoo! You lost your job. Yes! Now you are free. Enjoy that. Enjoy that and give thanks for that and use it as an opportunity to start your own business. Let's say you're a cleaner, in hotel rooms or whatever. We have lots of hotels around here, so that's why I said that. Hello, check this out. Make a flyer, post on Craigslist, share that with your neighbors. This is what I do. And you know what? As long as you're following your heart and doing what you love to do, I guarantee you will be provided for. So thanks for listening to my silly little reasons why I believe that being poor is a great blessing. And let that come into your life. Thank you so much, and I will see you in another video or over at souljourneysradio.com. Good night.